after 3.5 years. We technically have first son of season 5 Stranger Things content, some new Stranger Things content, period. I can't wait to dive into the 5 minutes of this first 5 minutes of Stranger Things Season 5. A quick 5-minute breakdown. I hope I can actually make that a 1-for-1 parallel. But I want to go into some subjects here. So we have to try and get this through as quick as we possibly can if I really want to get to that point. But this is actually an extension from Season 1, Ep 7. The end of that episode is Will seeing the Demogorgon and then just cuts. It just kind of breaks through part of Castle Byers and the Upside Down. This entire scene is a whole sequence of that after the fact, and we've known for a long time that the opening of season 5 was going to be Will singing "Should I Stay or Should I Go" in the Upside Down. That was the main synopsis on Stranger Things Day of 2023. 2 years ago. Completely crazy to think about it that way, but it's true. And yeah, so the Demogorgon bursts through. We have Will using the shotgun that he was originally trying to use on the Demogorgon when he was still on the right side up in the shed in the back of his house, of course. But that never actually happened. We just kind of saw him look behind him, and then the light just kind of stops over exerting itself with electricity. But he still uses the shotgun here, gets a clean shot on the Demogorgon. Fair play to him, at that age, fair play. And we see this sequence in the trailer too. He climbs up the tree. I didn't know if we were really going to see this in a cold open or not, or if it was going to be an additional flashback, but it's in the cold open. And the Demogorgon obviously very eager to get Will. But what I really like is the realism. I do appreciate the realism that he's not successfully going to make it from tree to tree. The fact that he was even able to get to the other tree, honestly, I think is pretty impressive for his age. Clearly, I know he jumped off of a branch, but not the most easiest thing in the world to do. And he just completely starts falling. I'm not gonna lie, I feared for him, even though I know obviously he's not gonna die. But it was a pretty nasty fall, and honestly, the backpack that he had on saved his life. Basically, how it hung from that tree and kind of temporarily stopped his fall. Because if he went to the ground from that high up in the tree, hitting all these branches left, right, and center, I'm sorry, this guy's a dead man. But yeah, something I find interesting too, I really want to make note of the backpack, because the backpack should still be stuck up on that tree branch to this day in the Upside Down, since we know it's stuck on November 6th of 1983, same day Will went missing. So realistically, this should still be there, and I wonder if that's going to come into play in the present timeline. That'd be really cool if it did, just the small details that count. And yeah, obviously Will gets completely knocked out once he falls from that tree because he's trying to escape a Demogorgon, but the Demogorgon successfully captures him, drags him over to the library in the Upside Down, where we see full-on confirmation now that yes, it was indeed Vecna who was in control of taking Will. Vecna's the one that technically took Will. Yes, the Demogorgon was the one after him, but that was by Vecna's commands. That was Vecna's choice, decision. He wanted the Demogorgon to go after Will. So he then obviously puts all the vines around him, sticks them up on the wall, and this is an unconscious Will, mind you. So it's really smartly done. Will doesn't remember Vecna because he doesn't know about Vecna's existence. Obviously now he does. At the end of season 4, he knows about Vecna. But when he actually met him, he never knew that he met him. He was unconscious, so he never even knew about Vecna being there. I assume this is the only time as well that Vecna actually went face to face with Will. So something else to keep in mind there, maybe the only time, because before that it was just the Demogorgon simply trying to hunt him down for Vecna. But yeah, this also is one of the most disturbing scenes, really, just when he attaches the vine to his mouth, and then I don't know really what he's sucking into him, some sort of clearly parts of Demogorgon slugs, maybe? I mean, obviously we know he coughs up the slug at the end of season 1 that turned into Dart, which was a plot point for season 2 of the show. Just really just disturbing stuff, honestly, at that age. One of the brilliant things about it too, I don't know if most of you picked this up, but at the end of this whole sequence, you actually see a tear running down one of his eyes as he's getting in, I guess, just all this stuff sucked into his mouth, and it's really gory. Obviously we know Vecna's like this, absolute monster, really, let's put it quite frankly. But also something interesting to note is It's like it's coming out of this weird glop thing. It's like a yellow glop thing. I don't know if it's relevant to the eggs, because we know that Hopper and Joyce, when they were down there to rescue Will, that they actually came across a Demogorgon egg, which has never actually been revisited. We've never seen another Demogorgon egg after that fact, so maybe that will also be shown again into season 5. We're going to get into deep lore, of course. But this is the final point I wanted to make on this very amazing opening. I was a huge fan of the opening. Actually, tell a lie. I got 2 things. I do want to point out the CGI. It's not that bad. The CGI, honestly, is pretty solid for what it is. Obviously, they had to get a new child actor, but they CGI'd Noah Schnapp's face on the young actor, very similar to how they CGI'd Millie Bobby Brown's face for the scenes with a young Eleven with the lab flashbacks in season 4. But it's not that bad. Honestly, I just feel like I've seen people online already like just bash it, and I feel like they were just waiting for the moments to just pounce. It's like, oh my god, I gotta hate every single last detail about this show. I have to drive a narrative. Oh, it's so bad. I was looking forward to saying this is bad. Like, it's not that bad. It really isn't. Just really dramatic. It really isn't that bad. Is it perfect? No, but it's acceptable. It's not that bad. It looks normal. It looks like a young Will Byers. Just think some people are a little over the top with that stuff. But one last point I want to make. This is actually getting into theory territory at the end of this breakdown. Do you guys think that Vecna intentionally wanted Joyce and Hopper to save Will and bring him to the right side up? Because that is a theory that I believe in personally, because let's be real. If Vecna really didn't want Will at all to go back to the right side up, he could have easily stopped Joyce and Hopper. When you look back at it now with the context of season 4, Joyce and Hopper's rescue mission to get Will, very simple. It's not like they were constantly hiding from these Demogorgon creatures or upside down entities that were trying to attack them. None of that. It was pretty simple. The only hard part was just knowing where the hell he was, because obviously they went to the Byers' house where they thought he would be hiding in, and he wasn't there, so they had to go around looking some more. But I just find it very peculiar that all in all was a pretty simple mission. Yes, it was a little emotional and stuff. Like, I cry almost every single time they revive him, obviously with the CPR. But sometimes I wonder if they actually wanted Joyce and Hopper to get his body back to the right side up. And I really think that's the case. There's a specific reason. Like, Vecna never really wanted to kill Will, I guess. Or maybe it was only until season 2 that he really wanted to, like, just keep Will alive but use him as a vessel. So there's a lot of points to make from this cold open. It cannot wait for season 5. Only less than 20 days away at this point. I'm so hyped about that. I'll do a lot more videos on this season because it really is near and dear to my heart. But let me know what you guys think about the cold open. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.